Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. How are you?
I'm good, Mataji. I'm good. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So I have the fortune of introducing you today. Hare Bol.
Hari Hari.
So we'll start with Kirtan Prabhu.
Yeah, sure.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji,
Bol,
Dandavat
Suma
Pranam.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol, Hare Krishna. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaudavani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastatya Rishadarine Jaya Shri Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Yadvaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Prabhu Nityananda Yadvaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadrama, Jaya Sudarshana, Bala Gopal, Jai Radha Madhav, Jai Shri Radha Sham Sundar, Jai Radha Ras Bihari Radha, Vrindavan Chandra Radha, Vrindavan Nath Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe Radhe Radhe, Shri Radhe, Jaya Sadgoswami, Jaya Guru Parampara, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudeva, Nitai Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद श्रील गुरुदेव की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णवा वृंद की जय। सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। All glory to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glory to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glory to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you for our Saturday spiritual frequencies, where we discuss wonderful transcendental nectar on Saturdays. And today we have very fortunate to have the association of His Grace Abhinava Gauranga Prabhu. Such my fortune to glorify Prabhu and introduce Prabhu to this forum. Prabhu is not new. Prabhu has taken several sessions for ICF forum, but for my purification and for the pleasure of all the devotees, let me quickly give a short introduction and then I'll hand over to Prabhu. His Grace Abhinav Gaurang Prabhu joined ISKCON in August 2020 during the COVID time, right? So many people have joined, but how is Abhinav Prabhu different? Let's see here that, right? So in like 4 years time, this is what Abhinav Prabhu has grown, in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says, those who have not just completed, they just get into Krishna consciousness, then they advance. So like that. So let's read, let's hear about His Grace Abhinav Gaurang Prabhu. He joined ISKCON in August 2020 during the COVID time. With mercy of Guru and Gauranga, he himself says, he was able to make steady progress. Right? Immediately after that, Prabhuji completed his Bhakti Shastri. Very difficult to complete Bhakti Shastri course. I know people who are, giving multiple attempts and all that. Prabhuji immediately, he cleared his Bhakti Shastri in 2022, within 2 years of joining ISKCON, right? We know Bhakti Shastri entails 4 important books: Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, Bhagavad Gita, and Isha Upanishad, right? To understand these 4 books, Prabhupada said, you become a Bhakti Shastri means you will become a very wonderful preacher, because you've understood whatever Prabhupada is given in the 4 important books that enables us to understand Krishna Tattva. So Prabhuji completed it within 2 years of joining ISKCON. Prabhuji got initiated from His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Sri Guru Maharaj in October 2023. Prabhuji is currently based out of ISKCON Whitefield, and Prabhuji is rendering services of being a part of the media team there and responsible for video editing and poster creation for the various programs at the center. And Prabhuji also runs his own Gita course every day evening 5 p.m. So if devotees are free, you may join in. Prabhuji may share the link. And Prabhuji is working for a renowned industrial software company as a senior developer. Prabhuji is married and is a father of a 10-year-old daughter. So that's in a nutshell about Prabhuji. So we welcome all the devotees for a very wonderful transcendental session. We welcome His Grace Abhinav Gauranga Prabhu by quickly, loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, over to you. Hari bol. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. I mean, I do not deserve this kind of glorification, but yeah, it's a part and parcel of this all the sessions that we do. So we have to go with that. But yes, I mean, it's all Krishna's mercy. I mean, we should not take in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna himself says, I mean, that uh, a spirit soul bewildered by his false ego thinks himself to be the doer of all activities, right? But in fact, which are in fact carried out by the three modes of material nature. So at no point of time, whether we are doing something good or we should be giving ourselves credit for that. Okay, so that is the whole kind of sum and substance of the Bhagavad Gita. There are other teachings as well, but this is one of the most important teachings. So yeah, thank you so much all. And another striking factor that I see in this meeting is that most of the participants here are Mataji, right? And I must tell you that you are the real soldiers of Srila Prabhupada, because even here in ISKCON Whitefield, most of the centers are actually single-handedly being run by Mataji. Okay, because we generally go to office, we have so many things to do, but in spite of having family responsibilities, coming on Saturday mornings and like giving your time and energy. When I was growing up, there was actually a saying that if an educated woman comes in a family, then the entire family becomes educated. I will go one step ahead to make a statement that if a spiritual woman comes into a family, the entire family becomes spiritualized, right? So thank you so much all for joining. And I've always maintained that just by participating in sessions like these, you all are actually helping me to fulfill the instructions of my Guru Maharaj. So you all will be very, very blessed. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, so we'll go ahead with this session today. Very interesting session. I think, you know, uh, if not all, then at least most of the people, come to ISKCON, actually start their journey in ISKCON because of this particular reason, which is prasadam, the power of prasadam, right? And initially, like before, taking this session, I was thinking that how to go about it, whether I should come sit in front of you and, deliver a lecture, or should I prepare some PPTs? And PPTs are actually always engaging. That's what I have felt. With nice pictures and all those, it keeps the audience engaged. So I've just tried to prepare something and just follow. I think some very, very nice, transcendental realizations are there in store for us. And prasadam is something that we should not be, ignoring at all. It's a very, very serious aspect of any devotional service, and we will see in the due course of time. So let me share my screen and then we can start. So the power of prasadam, I thought of giving it a jazzy name. So life transforming remnants, right? So we'll first go with Mangala Charan, and then after that, we will proceed. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gururo Shri Utapadkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Sapt Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघते गिरि यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं हरि ओम. Okay, so before we start this session, I would like to dedicate this session to my Guru Maharaj and to the founder Acharya of ISKCON, AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So I'm doing this session for the pleasure of these two personalities to whom I'm eternally indebted. I don't know if these two were not in my life, I don't know where I would have been lying today. Right, Saturday morning, I don't know what I would have done yesterday night, and I would have been simply sleeping by this time. Okay, so just trying to dedicate this session for pleasure of Srila Prabhupada and also to my Guru Maharaj. Whatever I'm going to say in this session, I'll merely repeat what I have read in the lectures of Srila Prabhupada. I'll merely repeat what I have read in the books of Srila Prabhupada. And I'll merely repeat what I have learned and heard from my Siksha Gurus and the Guru Parampara of ISKCON. So continuing with Srila Prabhupada, his preaching style was actually very, very unique, especially when he initially went to Boston, right, or when he landed in the United States of America. The situation was such that he was all alone, all by himself. He himself said that there was just, he had only 40 rupees in his pocket at that time. His typewriter was there, and the first edition of Srimad Bhagavatam, which he had written, it was there with him. And in the due course of time, his typewriter also got stolen. Right. So this was the kind of difficulty Prabhupada was facing at that time. But the most difficult part was that he did not fully understand the Western culture, and at the same time, the initial disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they also were not aware of the Vedic culture. Okay, so neither he was very well conversant, nor the disciples were very understanding about Vedic culture. So was confusion all around. And one, very funny example I would like to quote here is that one day Prabhupada had just started giving lecture, and some of his very initial disciples were there, and they were very intently listening to him. And at that time, his secretary was his base Shyam Sundar Prabhu. So he immediately ran out of that room where Prabhupada was giving lecture and started calling the other fellow devotees, "Hey, come, come, come! Swamiji is saying something wonderful, something very beautiful. Although I am not able to understand a single thing, but he's something very beautiful. So please come." So this was the state at that time, that they were not able to understand. So when someone is not able to understand, then what will you explain to them? How will they comprehend the serious topics like topics dealing with the spirit soul, the topics dealing with transmigration of soul from one body to another, the topics dealing with the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, right? These are very complicated ones, right? And like the disciples of Prabhupada initially, they were not at that spiritual maturity, to comprehend these kind of concepts. So in order to, make them very potent, Prabhupada actually took help of two very potent angas of bhakti, okay, which are very spiritually potent. And those two angas are chanting, the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and prasadam. Okay. So these two are very potent angas of bhakti, and in Kali Yuga also, like it has been recommended that only chanting is something which can deliver us from this cycle of life, death, and rebirth. And prasadam, what role it plays, we will see in the due course. So initially, like when uh, Prabhupada had started the center, and some people started coming to the sessions which he was taking. So he was very, very devoted, towards his own devotees, own disciples, basically, right? And he himself used to, cook for all the people who were coming in the center, and he himself used to offer those bhogas, to the lordships. And his cooking, mind, he was a very, very good cook, mind you, okay? And his cookings were not, simple rukha sukha khana at that time. What did he used to prepare? He used to prepare puris, kachoris, some very nice vegetables, right? And ISKCON bullets. I hope all of you know what is ISKCON bullets, right? So gulab jamuns, basically, they are known as ISKCON bullets. So now just tell me, when Prabhupada himself is doing all this seva, okay, and even after the feast was over, he himself used to remove all the used plates from the center. He used to help his disciples in cleaning up the center. When Prabhupada himself is doing all these sevas, tell me why he will not be able to transform the life of people, whom he touched. Yes. So, uh, like sometimes when I read his, pastimes, I'm literally moved to tears actually. That this old man at age of 70, like, what was there for him to do? Why did he at all take all these troubles? To travel, to the West, preach, and just he has done all these for us actually, right? And we should be very, very fortunate. We should consider ourselves very fortunate, that we are a part of this glorious parampara. Okay. So ISKCON bullets is another aspect. Like what Prabhupada used to do is that he used to prepare lots of gulab jamuns. Okay, and he used to keep a big jar of ISKCON bullets right outside his center, and he used to tell people coming in the center, eat as much as you want. So just imagine, like, what kind of situation. I mean, I think most of you are from ISKCON Juhu, or maybe most of people are all around the world. But just imagine if we keep a jar of ISKCON bullet just, outside, or maybe at the entrance of ISKCON Juhu. How would that feel? We are not going to do that, but I'm just saying, you can just imagine, right? This will be such a nice. In India, actually, it's not feasible. The crowd is such that it's not feasible. Too much of crowd. But yes, Prabhupada did that. Actually, he kept a jar of his corn bullets outside, and because he was, a firm believer that prasadam can actually transform lives, and he was taking help of that. And we have seen that, right? If you see in this picture, like right here, before coming to Krishna consciousness, there was a counterculture. All these people were hippies, actually, right? And all the four regulative principles which we are following today, they used to break them every single day, every single hour, every single minute, all four of them, right? And that was their state at that time. And then Prabhupada came, he started doing kirtans along with them, and just see how the disciples of Prabhupada have transformed. They have become the preachers of Bhagavad Gita today, right? And each and every single one of them have such profound knowledge that just by spending maybe 10 to 15 minutes with them, you can learn so much, right? Very recently, His Grace Hurijan Prabhu was in our center, right? And I had the fortune of receiving a signed copy of his book, Surrender Unto Me, right? And I just do not have words to describe, the kind of personality, which he is. Okay. And similarly, there are so many of them. His Grace Radhanath Swami Maharaj is there. His Grace, Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Very recently, we lost him, unfortunately. But yeah, like, and our own Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj is there, right? So many of them are there, and all of them, just profound knowledge, right? People with profound knowledge, and just see from where they have come, to this. So this is the life transforming, uh, what to say, the step which Srila Prabhupada took. Okay. So when it comes to sattvic food, we all know that sattvic food means vegetarian food without onion, garlic, and mushroom. Okay. So when it comes to sattvic food, it's very, very difficult to find those sattvic food in the West, actually. And there was one experience which I would like to share. There was this guy who was traveling. I will not like to name the country, but it was one of the Western countries, and he ordered for a veg sandwich, and he found a few small chicken pieces in that sandwich, and he said, "What is this? Like, I ordered for a veg sandwich. Why is chicken in the sandwich?" So they just said, "Okay, thoda sa ye chalega. It's veg only. It's a negligible amount, right?" So this is the kind of what to say. Excuses which people make there. Even one of my cousins, actually, he visited in one of the European countries, and he ordered for a veg sandwich. They just put a fish inside that and served him. So because why? Because they don't consider fish as a non-vegetarian food. So these are some kind of uh, ajeeb sa logic, which people give there, right? And which we won't be able to comprehend. But thanks to Srila Prabhupada, and by his mercy, we have ISKCON centers in almost every major city all around the globe today, right? And devotees, they can simply walk into any of these centers and have prasadam over there. There is no dearth of prasadam, no scarcity of prasadam today, right? And several devotees have actually become devotees just by eating prasad. One of my Siksha gurus, actually, he started his journey in ISKCON. Why? Because ISKCON served very nice prasadam, actually. So first time when he went to ISKCON, like it was, on the request of some monks, actually, which he met while going on his way to office, and they just invited him for Janmashtami feast. Right, Janmashtami was around the corner, so he went there on Janmashtami. He had prasadam, and then he liked the prasadam so much that he started visiting center every week. Right, and we have seen these that initially, like when we start the Bhagavatam class or Gita class, the attendance is still very limited. But suddenly, I don't know, like when the prasadam time is there, all the people prasadam time on time, right? Suddenly the crowd increases. I don't know, denizens of heaven from somewhere, they just appear out of nowhere, and it's just very very crowded at that time, right? So most of the people have started their journey in Krishna consciousness for prasadam, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Actually, Srila Prabhupada wanted all the grihasthas and the brahmacharis, to eat as much prasadam as possible. Okay, so, because that is something which actually cleanses us from within, and we'll see in the subsequent slides. Okay, so the science of Mahaprasad. Okay, so this is very, very now important, that how actually prasadam transforms our life. So, is everyone ready to understand, grab this concept? Okay. So, as we have seen that there are different angas of bhakti. Okay, for example, kirtan is there, book distribution is there, deity worship is there, prasadam is there, chanting is there. And the important part is that if anyone is attached to even one of these angas, okay, they can make a significant progress on the path of spirituality. All the other angas of devotional service will automatically come. We just need to find one area of interest. Okay, if you are very good kirtaniyas, just attach yourself to kirtan. If we are very good at book distribution, just go on distributing books. If we are like we are very much interested in deity worship, then just take the pujari seva at the temple, or prasadam cooking, distribution, and all, even just honoring prasadam, that actually helps a lot. So all we need to do is to just find one area of interest for ourselves, attach to that particular seva, and you just see your life being transformed. Just like it's a miracle, actually, right? And people, get attached to any one of these and become a pure devotee. And how does this work? We will see. Okay, so now we are going to cite some references from the Bhagavad Gita to understand the science of Mahaprasad. Okay, so food is divided into three types based on the modes of material nature. Okay, and if we are able to get this thing, with absolute clarity, then first of all, there will never be any confusion that what to eat and what not to eat. Okay, and secondly, it will be very easy for us to give us any food which is not offered to Krishna. Most of the times, at many lectures, we have seen people say that, okay, we should eat only Krishna Prasadam. But when it comes to actual implementation in our real life, at some point or the other, we actually, falter at times. Okay, in case of emergency situations when nothing is available, and still there are ways where you can work around it, but still, say for example, we are caught in a situation there that there is no other option left for us. Okay, then that's a different thing. Okay, that's a different scenario. But in most of the cases, it's easy for us to actually take food which has been offered to Krishna first. Okay, it's not very difficult thing to do. It just needs willpower and determination to do that. Okay, so we'll cite these three shlokas, 8, 9, and 10, and then we will see one by one. Okay, that how these different kinds of food actually affect our consciousness. Okay. So this is Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 17, shloka number 8, food in the mode of goodness. So it says, Ayu sattva balarogya sukha priti vivardhanaha rasya snigdha sthira hridaya aharaha satvika priyaha. Foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. Okay. So, and mind you, this is not being said by anyone else. It's being, confirmed by Sri Krishna himself. Okay. So essentially, any sattvic food is basically vegetarian. How it is vegetarian, we'll see, because in the subsequent shlokas, it will be very much clear that it's vegetarian food. Okay. And onion and garlic. So a lot of times, and we also avoid onion and garlic. So sattvic food means vegetarian food without onion, garlic, and mushroom. Okay. So a lot of times we at ISKCON, people ask us that why do you guys avoid onion and garlic? What is the problem in doing that? Okay, it has medicinal properties, so why not consume them? So to that argument, I think at least we, counter it by saying that paracetamol also has medicinal properties. Do you eat it every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner? It's not like that. Okay. So another important aspect is that see, food or prasadam should be taken as something which is staple, right? Just because it has some medicinal properties, we cannot keep on consuming it every day. Okay. Important thing is that if at all you want to lead a healthy life, then transform your daily routine in such a way that you don't have to depend on the medicinal properties or the medicines in general, right? And it's possible. It's quite possible. People actually, a lot of times, people they give an excuse that okay, we don't have much. We don't have time at all since morning. From morning till evening, we are super busy and all those things. But this is just an excuse to avoid any physical activity or any healthy activity, following healthy lifestyle in general, right? I mean, if a person wants to do that, they can easily do that. uh, Time should never be a constraint. It is never a constraint. Okay. And then these medicinal properties, so-called medicinal properties of this onion and garlic, they are still in research paper. Okay, we do not have any concrete evidence saying that okay, onion has this chemicals in it which are beneficial for these medical conditions. Okay, similarly, garlic has these chemicals in it, and these are beneficial. Research is on. I mean, yeah, certain experiments have shown, some what to say, like positive inferences, but it has not been medically proven thing. Okay, right now. But one thing is definitely medically proven that they agitate the mind, especially garlic. Okay, and the best example is the airlines. The pilots of the civil aviation, like they are actually forbidden to, or rather, there is a guideline for them that if possible, avoid any food, which has garlic in it, at least 48 hours before they take flight. Okay, why? Because it will always agitate your mind, and during the flight, sometimes a situation may occur where they have to take a decision in a split second, right? With agitated mind, you cannot do that. You have to be very calm and composed. So this is a proven thing, okay, that it agitates the mind. So yeah, these are some of the things about food in the mode of goodness. We'll continue with that. Okay. Second most important thing is that if we want to make progress in our spiritual life, okay, then the fundamental thing that we have to do is to be situated in the mode of goodness for most of the time. Okay. And slowly we need to increase that duration. Okay. And once a person is actually situated in the mode of goodness, then after spending some certain amount of time in that particular platform, he or she actually transcends that the three modes of material nature, and they are situated in what is known as Shuddha Sattva, and then they become a pure devotee. Okay. So with the food what we consume is very important actually. If we do not consume the food which is prepared in the mode of goodness, then there is no question of us being situated in the mode of goodness most of the time. Okay. So, and also when the mind is in satogun, when we are situated in the mode of goodness, it's very very easy for us to focus on the spiritual aspects of life. Okay. Else, it's very, very difficult. I mean, it's just not possible. You can see people all around. 99.9% of the people are just crazy, running after different allurements given to them by Maya. Okay. How many of us are in this session today? Hardly 30, 40 people, right? Ideally, like if, it would have been a big number, then we could have said, okay, that yes, the other modes also actually work. But only people who are in the mode of goodness, primarily in the mode of goodness, okay, they are only able to focus on these spiritual activities. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult to do that. Okay. Now coming to the food in the mode of passion. So what Bhagavad Gita says, Katva amla lavana tushna tikshna ruksha vidahinaha ahara rajasasyeshta dukha shokama yapradaha. Foods that are too hot, that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such food cause distress, misery, and disease. So, since most of you here are Mataji, how many of you like Pani Puris, Golgappa? Almost all of them. Even it's my favorite also, but uh, initially I was never able to eat that. I found it very tasty, but it was way too spicy for me. So my tolerance level for spices is very, very less actually. So right from childhood, I just used to see people eat. I mean, I could not eat that. Okay, but yes. So what it is saying that this pani puri has all these qualities actually. Right? Too bitter, salty, pungent, dry. No, not dry, but yeah, and burning. So basically, it has been proven, okay, that some people, yes, obviously they love very spicy food, chaat, and all those things. You can see in the picture, right? So, but scientifically, it has been proven that these too much of spice actually it causes a lot of burning sensation. Okay, it has a lot of heat within it, which actually destroys the mucus lining of our food pipe. Actually, so see just how practical Bhagavad Gita is, right? It is clearly said that such food are causes of distress, misery, and disease. In the Bhagavad Gita, actually, if you go on reading 17th chapter and the 18th chapter, Krishna clearly says the characteristics of the mode of passion. So, what are the mode of passion is characterized by one very special quality that initially it will be very pleasing, but towards the end it will be like a poison. Okay, and just see this food in the mode of passion is also exactly the same. While we are eating it, we find it very tasty, very nice, and very good actually. But in the long run, it is lot. It does a lot of harm to our body. Okay, so another important aspect is that this is one of my personal experiences that there was a person who was trying to concoct this this particular statement by saying that pungent. Okay, so like that person was adamant that okay, onion and garlic are not bad. I mean, we should not be giving up. We should eat everything in a limited amount. So his argument was that when we say pungent or spicy, so that actually is different for different people. It's a relative term, basically, what he was trying to mention. That what is something spicy for me may not be spicy for someone else. Okay, whatever food is pungent smelling for me may not be that pungent smelling for someone else. But what we should understand here is that when it comes to the Shastras, especially the Bhagavad Gita, because it has been given by none other than Krishna himself, we should not try to concoct these things by our own mental speculation. Okay? When once Krishna has said that spicy food is in the mode of passion, once Krishna has said that the pungent smelling food is in the mode of passion, we should not try to bring in ifs and buts over there. The best thing is that simply avoid such things, okay? And just follow what Krishna is saying. Okay? So, but always remember that when we are cooking prasadam, we are not doing it for ourselves. Okay, we are not cooking it because okay, I like samosas very much, so I'll prepare samosa and then I'll offer, and then because essentially in the name of offering prasadam in that scenario, you are satisfying your own tongue, basically doing that. Right? We have to understand what Krishna likes, and we need to do just that. Okay, that is what Nectar of Devotion also tells us, and this is what the essence of every Vedic scripture. Okay, so offering prasada means what Krishna likes, and we need to prepare according to that. And once we offer it, then we accept it as the remnants, accept it as a prasada. So that should be our mood. A lot of time when we go to some relatives place, okay, so people actually pressurize us कि अरे ठीक है कंठी माला पहन लिया तो क्या, it's okay, I mean, uh, but then when we are adamant, then sometimes they say अरे प्रभु जी बस आपके लिए ही बनाया है, बिल्कुल अनियन गार्लिक नहीं है, right? So that is what we need to tell them that okay, मेरे लिए बनाया है, that is the biggest problem. You should have cooked it for Krishna. Then if you would have offered to me, I would have taken that, right? But the very fact that you have prepared it for myself, that itself is a big good enough reason that I should not be taking this, consuming this food, right? So we always should prepare for Krishna, keeping Krishna in mind, rather than our personal taste and our personal preferences in mind. Okay. So these are just yeah, people actually try to work around these particular verses just to somehow or the other they try to find some loopholes, and so that they continue eating what they eat, right? So that's not the right attitude. So as we have seen that, as I said earlier, that food in the mind mode of passion, it makes the mind turbulent. I cited the example of the pilots as well, right? That they are advised basically. So what happens is that if we consume a food which is primarily in the mode of passion, our mind will be running, all around restlessly. We might be sitting in one position, but our minds will not be, calm and quiet. And in such a scenario, tell me, how will you chant nicely? Will it be possible? I don't know, like if you have done a group chanting, especially during the yatras. Actually, I have seen, people when we chant in a group. So how it starts that initially people are very calm and like sitting in one position, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then slowly first the head starts moving, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare. Then whole body starts moving, Hare Krishna. And then after that they just get up and then they start walking up and down, and this is what they do, right? So this is all the result of a turbulent mind. Okay, if your diet is proper, if you are primarily eating sattvic food and you are situated in the mode of goodness most of the time, then it will be very easy for you to sit there for maybe 1.5 2 hours and complete your 16 rounds by sitting at one place. But because that mode of passion invariably gets mixed, right? Because the ingredients are also not very pure these days. Okay, so some contamination is always there. So we actually, and maybe our bhakti is also not at that level, right? We are not very pure devotees that we offer with true love and devotion to Krishna. So some contamination still remains, and we are very restless by that. But just imagine, like if we deliberately eat these foods which are in the mode of passion, then it will be next to impossible for us to chant nicely, right? So, and it affects the both material life as well as spiritual life. Okay, why? Because material life, as I said, that it has a lot of harmful effects on the body. Okay, spirituality comes later on. First health to theek rakhein, then we can do some spiritual practices, right? This will actually jeopardize our health itself continuously if we eat spicy food and all these things. So just see how practical Bhagavad Gita is, right? It gives the solution to all the problems. It's just that people, they just don't know about it. They don't read it because they don't know. They initially, the only conception in the minds of people is, Are Bhagavad Gita, it says, Karam karo, phal ki chinta mat karo. That some tagline they read in some of the calendars or somewhere, and then this is the conception of Bhagavad Gita for most of the people. Okay. So we should just, bang this book on their heads, not literally. I mean, just distribute the books that read, and then it will help them. Now coming to the mode of ignorance. Yatayamam gatarasam puti paryushitam chayat uccashtam api chamedhyam bhojanam tamasa priyam. Food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten, food that is tasteless, decomposed, putrid, and food consisting of remnants, untouchable things, is very dear to those in the mode of darkness. Okay. So in any Vedic scripture, any form of dead body, okay, whether it's a human body or it's any other belonging to any other bird, animal, or anything, that is considered as untouchable. Okay. Actually, people in the we have to take a bath if we knowingly or unknowingly we come in contact with such things. Okay, so just imagine the non-vegetarian foods that people are consuming. They are essentially eating dead bodies, right? And considered untouchable in our shastra. And still, people give a lot of justification, that arguments in favor of eating non-vegetarian food, and we'll see in the forthcoming slides. First of all, these meat sellers, okay, very nicely they say fresh meat tender cut. Now tell me, how can a meat or how can a dead body be fresh? This decay process is continuously happening within our body even when we are alive. It's just that the life force which is within ourselves right now is not allowing the body to decay, but that process is on. And as soon as the life leaves this body, that decay process immediately, I mean, almost instantly it starts. Okay. Then how can you say that this is a fresh meat? Right? That itself is a like a contradictory statement. Okay. And in the mode of ignorance, entire consciousness is blocked. Forget about spirituality. I mean, we won't be even able to do our day-to-day lives properly. The day-to-day activities in our lives properly. Okay, most of the time we will be lazy, we will be procrastinating. Okay, and it's a very bad state to be in, basically, right? And yet still people give different arguments, in favor of that. We'll see some of the most common arguments what people say. Okay, first is high protein content. Okay, why? What was? I mean, see, first of all, even the vegetarian diet, you can see in the picture, they are loaded with proteins. Okay, like we have, different types of beans are there, different types of dals are there, right? Even spinach contains a lot of protein. So there is no dearth of protein in the vegetarian diet. This is a misconception being spread, by people who promote animal killing, basically, right? And what are we going to do with so much of protein? Even if we build a nice body and a bulky body, eventually we are going to die, right? So what is the need? And when we are getting enough protein, so and this is a complete myth that okay, it's a high protein like uh, non-vegetarian food contains high protein. Similar kind of protein supplements we can easily find in the vegetarian diet also. Okay, and there are many bodybuilders, wrestlers who are pure vegetarian. Okay, and most of the wrestlers in India who actually represent India in the Olympics are 70% to 75% of them are pure vegetarians, and they have won gold medals for India in the Olympics. Okay, so where is the question of non-vegetarian food being superior? Okay, and this concept of chappan bhog is only there for vegetarian items. Tell me, can you prepare chappan bhog from non-vegetarian items? So these are all just misconceptions. Okay. Another argument which people give is vitamin B12 is found only in non-vegetarian food. This is again because of all the nonsense that we have spread all around. Okay. Uh, if we read our shastras, and even the doctors agree to it, that abundant amount of vitamin B12, can be produced within our body simply if we walk barefoot on soil or on grass. बट अभी क्या करें, सारा कुछ तो हमने सीमेंट से ढक दिया है, राइट? एवरीवेयर देयर इज अ व्हाइट टॉपिंग, ब्लैक टॉपिंग, व्हाटएवर टॉपिंग्स आर देयर, so no soil, no sand is there, right? Just think about the Vedic culture. Okay, the sports and games which were there in our Vedic cultures. Okay, what were the sports that people used to play in India? Wrestling, kabaddi, kho, all these, they all were sports where you have to, essentially roll on the mud. Okay, that was the kind of thing. But no, we will simply discard those things. Why? Because we are blindly following West. We would rather play cricket or basketball or something, that, oh, rolling in the mud. I am a software engineer. How can I allow my son or daughter to, roll in the mud like that? It's so, unhygienic. Oh, no, that is the kind of mindset that we have, right? But see, this is all because we have been blindly following the West. And the impact of that Western culture is such that, we have simply, have no regards for our own culture, which is very, very spiritually advanced, scientifically advanced. Okay, we have to understand that. And so vitamin B12 is again not a concern. And another important thing, why these kind of sports are promoted in our Vedic culture, right? If you see in Mahabharata or even in Ramayana, you get this concept of Malla Yuddha or wrestling matches, at that time also. Why it is promoted so much? Because we have to understand that our this physical body, the gross body, is made of 5 elements. Okay, earth, water, fire, air, ether. Okay, but since we are on this earth planetary system, the major element in this body is that of earth element. Okay, other elements are there, but they are in minute quantities. The major portion is taken up by earth element. Okay, so that is the reason why we have always heard people saying कि मिट्टी से मिले हैं एक दिन मिट्टी में ही मिल जाएंगे. Correct, because that earth element is very prominent in this particular body. So the more we are in contact with earth, actually it is more beneficial, and the body will remain more healthy. And this is a very scientifically proven fact. You see, you go to the villages today, the villagers are far more fit and agile than us. Actually, we start growing old in the mid 30s itself because of the bad lifestyle that we have, right? But because they are in constant contact with her, they are spending time in the fields. The sports they play are, very desi sports. They are actually very, very fit compared to us, right? This is the scientific reason. So these are all, unnecessary things that have been promoted just to, make certain section of, people successful. Okay. So we should not pay any attention to that. Just stick to your culture, stick to the Vedic culture, and it's way more scientific than whatever advancement our science has made till date. Okay. And just tell me one another thing that, okay, if the vegetarian diet is so good, then why is it that if any medical condition happens in anyone's body, the first thing which doctors ask us to avoid is the non-vegetarian food? The first thing, the first advice the doctors give, that give up non-veg food, right? If it is so good, why is it like that, right? It should not happen. Okay. And also there's a very subtle aspect to this, okay, that who don't understand these things, okay, that most of the health related issues or any suffering that we are going through in this particular life, it's not because of the kind of food that we are eating, okay, it's because of the sins that we have committed in the past life. The food that we eat can only act as a catalyst. It can accelerate or decelerate the process of suffering, basically, which we are bound to have, which we are bound to get, actually. Okay. But essentially, it is because of our past life karmas. So just imagine if we are having some medical condition that is because of our past life sinful activities. In order to counter, those sinful activities, we are committing more sins, right? So any like if we without thinking, if we just put any remedy in place, then yes, it may bring us a patch of healthy life for a certain period of time, but rest assured that a patch of ill health is waiting for us in the pipeline. For a long ill health is actually waiting for us in the pipeline. We all are aware of this karma cycle, right? So if required, maybe sometime later I can take this session on karma in depth, but yeah, I mean, this is the way it is, right? So all the sufferings that we are all suffering, the problems that we are facing in our lives today, or all the enjoyments that we are receiving in our lives, okay, those are only because of our past lives karma. Okay. So all these, the food that we eat can act as a catalyst. It is not the cause of those sufferings, basically. Okay. Okay. So another example, what people say is that chicken population will increase if we don't eat chickens, right? As if God has appointed us to, keep a tab on the chicken population, right? Who are we? And what is Mother Nature doing then? Okay, what is Durga Devi doing if chicken population is increasing, right? I mean, isn't don't you think that she is more well equipped and she is more well versed with this whole creation, and she is in charge of this whole creation? She should be worried about that, right? Rather than we taking the chances. Okay, so this is all like stupid reasons that people are giving. Okay, so one important thing that argument that you will get is that plants also have life, and when we are killing life, okay, it's the same, that okay, we are killing elements, you are killing plants, so the thing is the same. Okay, so yes, in that way they are right, and we'll see that how do we counteract these things. Okay, one very important thing that we need to understand, that this material world is created in such a way that the rule is jivo jivasya bhojanam. Okay, that in order for one living entity to sustain in this material world, they will have to kill some other living entity. Okay, that is the rule. Okay, but the problem is that if you kill, you will be bound by karma. Okay, so tricky game, isn't it? Like how to get out of this place then. Okay, so we'll see that. I'll come to that later. How do we want to get out of this? So another thing is that why not eat outside? So first of all, obviously the hygiene is a big concern. We never know about the ingredients, how fresh it was, when it was being prepared, or maybe it was maybe 2 or 3 days old, or how people are preparing it, and the subtle aspects. So these are very like common things. For example, when you are cooking, so what are the ingredients that we are putting? Oil is there, The spices are there, salt is there, water is there, and obviously the foodstuffs are there. So these are all external factors. There are some subtle things that get added, when we are doing fire cooking, and that is the consciousness of the person and the karma of that person. So these two are invisible things that are getting added. Okay, and once these come into that food, it will affect our consciousness and our karma also. Now, just imagine we already are so much contaminated. Are we capable to take karma of other people also? It's not, right? And one very nice another thing which I would like to highlight here about the hygiene aspect. Actually, this story is related to one of my Siksha gurus before he became a monk at ISKCON. So he used to travel to office by bus, and he was just he had just come to ISKCON. He was not a brahmachari back then, and he used to go to office. And only thing he used to eat outside was that occasionally he used to take some fruit juices. Okay, so one day he just ordered a fruit juice, and he was also doing his chanting while waiting. So what he saw, one thing which caught his eye was that this person, the juice seller, he just took a piece of cloth and wiped that jar in which he was actually making the juice very nicely. And then with the same cloth, he just wiped his sweat which was there on his face. So he says that was the last day I had fruit juice. I just ran away from there without taking that juice from there. Right? So you will never know how the hygiene of this thing is there. And there's one thing which I have seen with my own eyes, when I was in college actually. Our college was located at such a place that the back portion of our college used to face the kitchen of a bakery. Okay. And one day I was standing in the balcony waiting for my classes to start. And at that time, and from the balcony, you could easily get the view of the kitchen, that what was going inside that. And I could easily see that the cooks of the bakery, they came in, they had to bake something, so they just took this big what to say a piece of the flour, uh, dough basically, which they prepare a large piece. They threw it down on the ground, and two of them just stood on that dough, and then they just stomping it with their feet, right? So this is how they actually mix the dough. Like, this I have seen with my own eyes. Okay, and after that I just stopped, consuming any bakery items outside. And it's a long time back then. I was not even associated with ISKCON at that time. But just so this hygiene is a big concern. Really, whatever it looks from outside, the restaurant may seem to be very jazzy and very clean, neat, and lighted up, well lighted up. But you never know what's going on inside the kitchen. Okay, and also the karma and the consciousness of the person gets added. That is the reason why we are so strict, at ISKCON when it comes to fire cooking. Okay, that the person should be chanting 16 rounds before entering the kitchen. Correct, and they must have taken a bath. That these are the two norms that which are there for ISKCON devotees to do some fire cooking. Okay, so there's so much of contamination even on the gross platform. What to speak about subtle aspects, right? So now, why it is so now? Another thing which I would like to say, we said that okay, when we kill the plants, we also get the karmas. Okay, so how to counteract that? So the answers we get in Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, shloka number 13, and chapter 9, shloka number 26. So 3.13 we'll first see. Yagyashishtashinah santo muchyante sarva kilbashe bhunjate te tvagam papa ye pachantyatma karanat. Devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sin because they eat food which is first offered for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. Okay? So, yes, when we kill the plants, we also get sinful reaction. Actually, there are 5 types of sinful reactions. Like if we cut the plant, then the vegetables, then we get one kind of sinful reactions. If we grind it, then some other, because we have actually killed a living entity, and also along with the plant there are some small microorganisms and insects also which are there. They also get killed, right? So that karma is there on us as well, right? Very true. But once we offer this food to Krishna, okay, then we are released from all kinds of sinful reaction, right? So when we offer the food, Krishna makes this food karma free. Okay, and then so when people ask that you are a vegetarian, or a non-vegetarian, you say, I'm neither a vegetarian, I'm nor a non-vegetarian. I'm a Krishnatarian. Because we offer food to Krishna and only then take the food as prasadam, the remnants of that food. Otherwise, if it's not offered to Krishna, we simply won't eat. Okay. And then another very popular verse, which we all know, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadham Bhaktya Upritam Ashnami Pretatmana. Anyone who offers with me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, I will accept it. Okay. So clearly Krishna has said, in these two verses that, okay, one, that he will relieve us from all the sinful reactions if we offer the food as sacrifice. Okay. And second, what is the menu of the food that Krishna accepts? Patram, Pushpam, Phalam. Okay. Now you just consider any vegetarian food item. Okay. They will come under these three categories: either a leaf or a flower or a fruit. Okay. There is nothing, beyond that. So vegetarian diet is actually recommended, and Krishna has never said meatum, fishum, chickenum, something like that. No non-vegetarian food. And by performing the leelas in Braja, okay, Krishna has also given us an example that what does he accept? All the milk products, right? Milk, uh, butter, curd, ghee, and also honey. Okay, these are the things which Krishna accepts. And apart from that, he has all explicitly mentioned in this particular shloka of the Bhagavad Gita what can be offered to Krishna. So anyone who asks you, भगवान ने बोला है क्या कि सिर्फ vegetarian food खाना है? Yes, you can directly with full confidence you can say, हाँ भगवान ने बोला है, ये पढ़ गीता यहाँ पे. This is the shloka number, right? So another important aspect which I would like to touch upon is that when we offer prasadam, there is no visible change in the prasadam, right? Like what we offer, same thing is coming back to us, right? Then how can we be sure that, okay, Krishna has accepted it, right? So the answer is in the Brahma Samhita, okay? That since Krishna's body is spiritual, right? Sachidanand Vigraha, right? Krishna's body is Sachidanand Vigraha, okay? So that means it is eternally blissful, full of knowledge, and it's basically absolute, okay? So when we say that the body of Krishna is absolute, it's a spiritual body, that means that any organ of that particular body is capable of performing activities of any other organ. Okay, so it's not necessarily that Krishna will have to take the food from in his hands and then put it in his mouth. No, he can simply, accept that food by glancing. Okay, so in the Brahma Samhita, it says, Angani yasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti. That means each of the limbs that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged function of all the organs and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universe, both spiritual and mundane. That means one particular limb or one particular organ of Supreme Personality of Godhead is capable of performing the activities of all the other organs of the body. Okay. So they do not have to, he doesn't have to, like accept the food as we do. Okay. So rest assured that just by glancing at the food, Krishna actually spiritualizes, that entire food and makes it karma free. Okay. And yes, there was another thing which I wanted to say, just slipped off my mind. But yeah, anyways, I'll come back to that, once I get back. Yes. Yeah, another example, the analogy that we cite here is that when we send an email to someone, right? So what happens? There are two copies. One copy is sent to that person, and another copy will be saved in your sent item, right? So similarly, one copy went to Krishna, another copy is there as prasadam. So you can just take that, right? This is a very on the gross platform. We try to give this analogy. Okay. So, yeah, so he adds his potency by glancing and then spiritualize. The food is completely spiritualized, and most important thing, the prasadam is non-different from Krishna. So we should be very, very careful while honoring prasadam. Okay, once we are honoring prasadam, our full focus should be on that with a mood that we are doing devotional service from Krishna because honoring prasadam is also a kind of devotional service. Okay, at that time, avoid too much of talking or shouting at others or any kind of behavior which is considered unethical in the Vaishnavism, in the Vaishnava parampara. Okay, please try to be very specific about this thing, because always remember this prasadam is non-different from Krishna, and honoring prasadam, by honoring prasadam, you are actually performing a devotional service. Okay. And when prasadam is honored, Krishna himself enters our body and purifies us from within. So this is the science of prasadam. Okay. So it purifies us from within. Okay. And trust me, if a person has no interest in chanting, if a person has no interest in attending any of these satsangs, if a person has no interest in reading the Bhagavad Gita, still okay, right? We will eat food, right, for our survival. So how difficult it is? You just prepare something, offer it to Krishna. Just by doing that, trust me, we'll make significant progress. We will be, becoming Krishna conscious, and the person will automatically develop interest for chanting, for reading, or and for going to satsang, going to temple, every week, not every day, right? So this is the as I said earlier in the beginning slide, one of the most spiritually potent angas of bhakti, the prasadam. Okay, and this is what Prabhupada used as a tool, to transform all the hippies to devotees. Correct. So towards the end, yeah, I'll take the questions just after, just a few more slides remaining, Mataji. After that, I'll take the questions. Okay. Um, so another important thing is this offer the best food to Krishna. Okay. So ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि we prepare something ordinary, and because he is the supreme personality of Godhead, he is being served by hundreds and thousands of Lakshmis. At least something we should do from our side, right? At least whatever is in the best of our capability, we should try to offer him. Okay. So just take for example, okay, just tell me one thing. What is our relationship with Krishna? So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we have seen Krishna, Jiver Swarup hoy, Krishner Nityatha, that we are eternal loving servants of Krishna, right? So just imagine that there's a housemaid at your home, and she gives you some very rukha sukha khana, and for herself she prepares nice paneer butter masala and is eating in front of you. Will you like that? Right? Will not like that. Why? Because she is a servant, right? And she should be eating what has been offered to her. Or if she prepares the food, first eats herself and then harm himself. अभी सही है, ये खाना में भी बिल्कुल ठीक है, आप अभी खाओ. Will that be a good etiquette from her side? No. So she should be eating what is being made for us, and she should be first serving it to us, and then after once we are done, then she should be taking the food. That is the basic etiquette. Okay, because she is serving. Okay, she is in that way. So we are also servants of Krishna. So we also should have that kind of attitude. Okay, it's not that ki kuch bhi chadha diya just for the purpose of offering bhoga, and then after that we are eating whatever we like. So in the beginning, as I said, that when we are preparing prasadam, we are not doing it for ourselves, not doing it what we like. Okay, we have to keep in mind that we are preparing it for Krishna, what Krishna likes. Once after we offer it, we accept it as the remnants. Okay. Now, the last slide, how to offer bhoga at home. So there's a procedure for doing that. And at ISKCON, we follow this one. Okay, so first is 3 times Guru Pranam Mantra. Now, this particular step is applicable only for initiated devotees or the devotees who have taken shelter. Okay, because once you take shelter or get initiated, you get the pranam mantra of that guru as well, the guru or your spiritual master from whom you have taken the initiation. Okay, so we have to chant that as well. Those who are non-initiated devotees, they can skip this particular step. Okay, or those who have not taken shelter. Coming to a second, 3 times you have to chant Srila Prabhupada pranam mantra. Okay, Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे. This you have to do 3 times. Sorry, I forgot to mention, you first offer the food. In this picture, it's not shown clearly, but in the altar, what we do is that we offer the food inside the altar, then we put the curtains on, okay, the way we do in the temples, okay? And then we start chanting these mantras with the bell in our hand, continuously ringing the bell, okay? So 3 times Srila Prabhupada Pranam Mantra, and then after that we have to chant this mantra, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gaurat Vishenava. This we have to do 3 times. Then Namo Brahmanaya Devaya Go Brahmanaya Hitaya Cha Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah. This again 3 times. And then Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then Hari Om Tat Sat. So the logic behind this is that we are ourselves are not capable or not qualified enough to approach Krishna directly. Okay, so we are doing it through the Guru Parampara. So initiated devotees first offer it to their Guru. Okay, they request him to offer it to Srila Prabhupada, who is, the preeminent Siksha Guru or the spiritual master for almost all the devotees at ISKCON, right? So so first we offer to Guru, then to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, we request him to offer to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. And then finally we request Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to offer it to Krishna. Okay. We cannot directly approach Krishna. We are just not qualified for doing that. Okay. So this is the whole idea for this. And it's very simple. It hardly takes maybe 5 minutes in this chanting of these mantras, and then another 5 to 10 minutes, just keeping the bhoga there. After that, you can take and mix it with all the foodstuffs. It's just as simple as that. And just imagine you can transform your life just by doing this activity each and every day. For Grihastha, the rules are even more relaxed. The rule is that in the entire day, at least one meal with grains you should offer to Krishna. Okay, you do not even have to do all the 3 times. Okay, but just make sure that once you are preparing the bhoga, then you should have taken a bath. You should wear a clean clothes, and then the kitchen should be very clean. Okay, if these things are followed and just follow these steps, it's very simple. It can be life transforming. Okay, so that brings me to the end of this session. I would like to pause here, and I see a couple of hands being raised. So I am sure you all will be having a lot of questions. So please go ahead. I can see Shobha Mataji and Divya Mataji raising their hands. So Shobha Mataji, please go ahead first.
Hari Bol, Dhanavad Pranam Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. No
Yeah.
doubt, after coming to Krishna consciousness, I very much understood the prasadam's importance of prasadam and how it really impacts our thought, words, and action. No doubt in that, and it's really doing amazing with my counterpart Prabhuji also, who's totally against ISKCON. Silently, I'm giving prasadam to him daily, so that he's allowing me to chant and do Naivedyam daily and Tulasi Puja. Hari Bol to Prabhuji. And only one doubt is that we are all mostly working, and I do prasadam daily, do the puja, arati, and take the prasad, have the prasadam in the morning and also take the prasadam. But by the time I take, it will be 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the evening. So it won't be the 3 hours or 4 hours cooking.
No, so so actually I understood your question, Mate. So this particular thing that we saw in the verse for the food in the mode of ignorance, right? That is applicable to normal food stuff, okay? Not for prasadam. Prasadam you can take any time as long as it is good, okay? So it is not applicable to that. And trust me, your Prabhuji will also become a devotee one day. He'll chant with you one day, okay? Just keep on feeding him. Just keep him feeding prasadam. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hari Bol.
Okay. Next is Divya Mataji. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Firstly, very wonderful class. Didn't know that 1 hour has gone so quickly. Thank you so much for wonderful insight. So my question over here is, sometimes we will be going out and we will have to consume maybe some juice or anything because it's summertime. So at that particular point of time, there is this knowledge always there that we have to serve to Krishna and then eat it. But sometimes, why? Because for me, it is not that entire family is in Krishna consciousness. It is only me. So sometimes it so happens like that, Prabhu. At that particular point of time, how are we supposed to go ahead, Prabhu, without being guilt but still consuming?
So the thing is that Mataji, carry something with you. The best option is that if you can carry some juice or something to drink along with you. Okay. As I said earlier, that Maya is very strong. Okay, when you see those many devils all around you, it's very natural that you will get attracted to those things and ultimately will give in to the desire of the tongue. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, the best thing is that carry something with you. That's what I have been doing. Okay, I have completely stopped even packaged food. I have stopped. Okay, until unless I'm dying, which is the emergency dharma. Till that time, I'm not going to take anything. Right. So it's just all about will, Mataji, and there are ways to work around it. As Mataji earlier, she said that she is preparing prasadam and she's also taking it to the work. Right. So now once you are having that, then where is the problem? I don't see any problems there. So if you carry something to drink with yourself, then
Okay.
I don't think that you will be in that situation, right? And I have given that example. One of my Siksha gurus, he was actually consuming fruit juices, but
Right,
you know
right,
how
right.
how it is being made, right? So you
Right,
never
right.
know. You never know about the kind of hygiene, whether the person has taken a bath, what is the consciousness of that person. Okay,
Right, right.
so all those things are going in that. So better to avoid it, if possible.
Okay, and one last question, Prabhuji. With respect to Om Tat Sat, I always had what does it actually represent, Prabhu? If on a
Yes, so it has been very nicely explained in one of the purports of Bhagavad Gita. I am forgetting that particular shloka, but I'll get back to that. Okay, after performing any auspicious activity, right? So we end it by saying Hari Om Tat Sat. Okay, so uh, these three, Om, Tat, and Sat, they are both actually representations of Krishna. Okay, in different forms. And Prabhupada explained it in the purport. I'll try to get and I'll circulate it maybe to Midhavni Mataji, and she can share it with all of you. Yeah,
yeah, sure,
it's in the purport of Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Mataji. Okay, we
Prabhuji,
have
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I've
Hare
just heard
Krishna.
about this Hari Om Tat Sat.
Mhm.
In a lecture, what I heard was it is for the pleasure of Krishna.
Yes.
That's what
yes,
I heard.
Yeah. It's a form of it's Krishna's name only. But
Yeah.
when performing some auspicious activities, we utter these three words. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, I have a question. I'll ask after they finish, Prabhuji.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Mataji. Right now, no problems. Yeah.
No, Prabhuji, I'm initiated. Now,
Okay.
when you offer this bhoga, now you said in temples they close the
Altar.
curtain, altar, and then they say Namo Vishnu Padaya, all that.
Correct.
But you have to at home also you have to close the curtain and say, or you can open the curtain and then say and then close the curtain.
No, generally, during my altar installation, what instructions I was given was that follow exactly what is being done in the temple. Okay, if you can follow it as closely as possible, then nothing better than that. Okay.
Okay.
So
okay,
we just close it. Offer the food and then close the curtains, and then you can just
offer the food and then close the curtain. No, that's only I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep the food like in the altar, and then you close that altar altogether along with the food and Krishna. Yeah, like that.
And then we can say Namo Vishnu Padaya. Then we say the prayers.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. One thing more which I noticed, I saw it in WhatsApp. This video that about that dough which you said, no, that outside dough how they make. I saw it like they were making this dough. One person goes to the loo, like the squatting type,
exactly.
and then the way he walks to the dough.
Yeah,
from that
exactly.
day, I really felt so piggish.
Yeah,
Then the other,
I mean,
about another one, Prabhuji, this pani puri. One fellow was a vendor on the street in Mumbai, I think. He was selling pani puri. All of a sudden the pani of the puri had finished. So he looked around here and there, and then he urinated and put in that masalas and kept it there.
Correct.
It is so sickening, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
I just want to share with everyone.
Yeah. No, so yeah, these are the problems actually, Mataji. So that is the reason. And once we actually observe these, generally what happens, we don't see these things happening. Okay.
Yeah.
So what to say, out of sight, out of mind. That's what the thing is. But once you see it from your own eyes, trust me, people, no one will even have to ask you or pursue you to actually give up, eating outside. Okay, you'll automatically do that. Yeah. Okay. Suma Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Pranams, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we are not making a prasadam for Krishna, Prabhuji. Now we are all. I am doing offering prasadam on the preferences of my family members, Prabhuji. So I'm not just to bring them to Krishna consciousness. At least if they have that prasadam, with that Sukruti, they'll come.
They will definitely come, Mataji. Don't worry about that. Just keep doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not keeping the preferences of Krishna, Prabhuji, because I don't know also what Krishna likes and everything.
No,
so
I have just, you can just refer to this lecture, Mataji. I think I have given the three references. The three references which I have given: the food in the mode of goodness, food in the mode of passion, and food in the mode of ignorance. Just avoid what is there in passion and ignorance and stick to what is there in mode of goodness. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's all we have to
Prabhuji,
do.
what kind of prayerful mood one should have, Prabhuji, while offering prasadam? Because how to make it more potent, Prabhuji? In one of the class, one Prabhuji had said.
Just
put.
think of Srimati Radharani while preparing the prasadam.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Krishna will accept it with both hands. He will grab it
Hare.
from you, actually.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Pranams, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Padma Mataji, you can go ahead.
Okay, Prabhuji, then sometimes we make the, we make the bhoga, all of a sudden a family member has to rush, urgent, before we could offer. So that one portion we can say, we can serve for him, and then we can say, Om Vishnu, 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 and then give. Because this also I heard somewhere.
So, see, it all depends upon what is the urgency, Mataji. Sometimes we need to take help of what is known as Vivek. Okay. So, very tactfully, we need to understand that I'm rushing for something, but is it that important that, requires my immediate attention? Okay. If not, then we can definitely delay it. Say, for example, if you are at home alone and then you are cooking, and if someone is at the door, then okay, that's fine. Those things are unavoidable. You have to attend and all those things. But if some phone calls come, mobile phone calls come, or something is there, then you can easily, ignore them and, continue with your cooking.
Yes, Prabhu. No, what I'm referring is if somebody has to rush, family member has to go somewhere for something urgent, and if he says, give me prasad, what do you then what do we do? The small portion we can put in a box and then say Om Vishnu, 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 and give, no? We can do that, no, Prabhuji?
Yeah, we can. But yeah, those are all, emergency situations kind of thing. Getting around the actual process. Yeah, better to do some time management, Mataji, if possible. Just even for 5 minutes, if we can offer it to Krishna, then I think it should be good enough. Yeah.
But sometimes they can't even wait for 5 minutes, Prabhuji, because of the urgency. That's why. This doesn't happen regularly. It happens once in a week.
Yeah, then it's fine, Mataji. It's fine. Once in a week is okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Bhumita Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranams. I had a question that, as Divya Mataji said, sometimes we go outside with a family, and you said you pack your things from home.
Okay.
I'm the only one who is in this Krishna conscious in my family, as I'm a grahastha, and my family, like my husband and my kids, are not.
Okay.
So, Prabhuji, I'm in a situation like sometimes, it's not possible. I'm very much eager to do things forward.
So you can do it yourself, Mataji. No problems. Maybe my wife is not into Krishna consciousness. She's a spiritual person. She's in some other sampradaya actually, and she's not in Krishna consciousness. But I follow all those things, and if they understand you, okay, when people say that, okay, I'm concerned for you, I understand you, that means they will be fully supportive of you. Okay. So at no point in time you try to give up these things. You clearly say that, okay, since I have taken to Krishna consciousness, these are the certain instructions which have been given to me and I have to follow them. Because even Prabhupada used to say that at the end of the day, all of us are flying our own planes. Okay. An aeroplane, when it is on the runway or on the airport, then there is a lot of support staff, ground staff is there to help it out. But once it takes to the air, then it's up to the pilots themselves. And we are just flying our own planes. Okay. So first, about yourself. Eventually, feeding them prasadam, they will also become Krishna conscious. You have to be, 100% sure about that. Okay. So just keep doing that.
Yeah. One more question. Like sometimes what happens, in this in our life, like not for one day, we are going for 2-3 days. In that particular situation, my husband is not in this, so he's supportive at home and all that. But sometimes when we go out, he gets irritated. Like,
so
you're following so much, it's very hard for me because of you. We can't go out and this and that. And sometimes if we go out of station, then there is a problem.
See, out of station also, you have to convince him, Mataji. See, because you tell him that, okay, I'll be there at the restaurant sitting with you. I'll give my company. Okay. It's not that I'll ask you to go and eat alone. Okay. I'll be there all the time, but please don't force me to eat anything. As far as out of station is concerned, you take a rice cooker along with you, Mataji, and you can easily prepare khichdi or maybe ghee rice, something you can do easily. I mean, see, people find ways. Actually, ISKCON centers are there everywhere. You can go and, have prasadam there, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So workarounds are there, Mataji. I mean, it just need to be determined.
I'm trying. Prabhuji, I'm trying my best, but
Yeah.
sometimes it gets a little
No,
frustrated
I mean,
if
Krishna will
your
help you,
family
Mataji,
members are
don't worry.
not supportive. Yeah.
Krishna will help you. I fully understand all the,
So please pray.
yeah,
Pray for my family, my husband, my
absolutely.
kids, Prabhu.
Yes. All the, like Matajis who are coming in my Gita course. Actually, I conduct a Gita course every Saturday. Like today, 5 p.m. also there is the class. I'm going shloka by shloka there. Most of them are in this similar situation. Okay. And your husband is actually, actually supportive of you. There are people who, the family is entirely against them. Okay. Kya ho gaya ise? Why? What has happened? She is not enjoying the life and all those things. Such kind of comments are coming. But then, they are determined to keep following that. Yeah. Just stick to it. Krishna will help you. Don't worry. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Medhavani Mataji was raising her hand. So we can just take her question and then.
Yeah, then Pranam Prabhu. Actually, I didn't have a question. I was just wanting to answer Padma Mataji. Like, it generally happens that, some days it becomes urgent and somebody has to leave immediately. So what I generally do is, I don't, I just give it in a small box. I ask that person to have it, after going to college, during the morning break, like that. So that Krishna is offered, and that prasadam they can have after 10-15 minutes also, or when they are commuting on the way or something like that. So that, at least 5 minutes it is offered, because Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu we do when we are not able to offer. Like, for example, if you are somewhere outside, and we are consuming, some fruits or cut fruits or something, or, directly, because we don't have anything, we've not taken anything. We just see, a mango or, something like that. And then we take it, and then we say Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Manasikama, we offer, and then we have it. That is where we do Shri Vishnu. We cannot take a portion and say Shri Vishnu and offer the balance. Because when we take a portion and offer, that entire thing is offered. It's not like you take a portion. I've heard this concept when, we need to make boga for 2-3 temples. Like, for example, we have Meera Road, we have Jagannath Center also. So we make some bogas, which we take to 2 different temples also. Like, we visit 2-3 temples for Janmashtami or something like that. So that time what we make is, we make separately, we pack it, keep it separately. And then, it's not yet offered. Then we make, for example, if I'm making ribbon pakoda, then I make 3 packets for 3 different centers, and then they are not offered because none of them are offered. So we take it to one temple, offer that portion, their option, like that is okay. But then if you have already taken a portion and given to somebody, then, the entire thing becomes not offerable, because it's already offered.
Correct.
It's already taken out.
Taken.
It's
It's
used.
already, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just wanted to mention.
Yes. I think that's a
Yeah,
very
okay.
important
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Medhavani Mataji. Understood. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. As always, today was a very, very wonderful session, practical session, and I'm really amazed. I must say, I lack in determination. So I'm really enthused by today's class by Prabhu, because like you say, you very, very clearly you say, take a rice cooker and go and cook there. I mean,
I like that. That was very nice.
So stunned, because I will never tell somebody like that, because I myself know I'm not so strict in following that. But the way you said it, Mataji, take a rice cooker and cook it there, I can imagine how staunch and determined you are, Prabhu. I'm really seeking your blessings, that we all become, we should become like that. I'm so inspired by your today's session. Generally what I do, especially when my work requires travel. So when I have to travel, I also go, like, with my teammates to the restaurants. I don't take cooked food. I have like fruit salad, or something. I do manasika offering, Krishna, please accept it, because you can't go and like Mamita Mataji also, you said, you go, you give your company, but don't eat anything.
Yeah, don't eat anything.
I have not been able to personally follow it, Prabhu. When I go with my colleagues, I have, like, of course, the fire aspect I do take. I don't eat cooked items. But then, fruit salad or a fruit juice, something like that, I offer to, Manasikam to Krishna, because when the food gets cooked, it gets the consciousness of the person who's cooking. Otherwise, uncut fruits. Generally, what we pick up when you're going out, when you're traveling on the car a long time, we take this uncut fruits like guava, apple and all. So I tell my children, bite and eat. Because if you cut also, a little bit of that, that person's consciousness But uncut fruits, that's what we generally go by.
Yeah.
But I sincerely pray and hope and sincerely desire that I sincerely practice what you say, Prabhu.
Yes,
I
yes,
love the
Mataji.
confidence, ऐसा होता है ना कि जो practice करते हैं ना, so it's like, I mean, what is this? You
Yeah,
should take
yeah,
ice
correct.
water and cook it. I'm like,
Correct.
okay, I will try, Prabhu.
Yeah. No, this
Thank you so
confidence
much.
actually,
your
actually,
class is so inspiring, Prabhuji. Can you please give me your number, because some one or two students overseas, they
Yeah.
want evening class. So
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
can
sure,
give a
sure.
link or something.
Yeah, I will share. Yeah, I'll share my link of the group with Medhavani Mataji. She can circulate it to you. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, Prabhuji. These are evening classes.
Yeah,
Thank you
evening
so
class.
much.
Yeah. Thank you so
And
much.
Nandini Mataji has a question.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, can I ask? Sorry for the late.
No problem, Mataji. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I am the only person in my house in Krishna consciousness. My son, he gets angry. Whenever when I'm offering for God. But what I do is, before he gets up, I complete my tiffin and lunch, whatever it is. I offer it to God in the morning. At one stage itself, morning 4:30, I'll offer the flowers and fruits and milk. Then at 9:30, before going to office, I offer tiffin and lunch. The only offering I do is in the morning, afternoon, and night. I don't do anything at home. So we used to consume the same thing. So is it fine, because I'm for Krishna, I'm doing it only for once in the morning?
That's fine, Mataji. I mean, depending. See, Srila Prabhupada also mentioned one thing. Do whatever you do according to time, place, and circumstances. If you hear Shrutakirti Prabhu, he spent a lot of time with Srila Prabhupada, and he always used to mention time, place, and circumstances, right? It's okay, Mataji. Like, the rule for Grihasthas is that at least once you should be offering grain prasadam to Sri Krishna. At what time you do that, it's up to you. Okay, whether it's breakfast, whether it's dinner, whether it's lunchtime. But it will be nice if we are able to do it all the 3 times. But even in my house, like, all the 3 times is not possible. We try to do it twice. Okay, so most of the times we end up doing twice. But the breakfast is actually very challenging. Everyone will have to get up in the morning, take a bath. I can do that. I have to do that anyways. But it becomes difficult for my wife, because the kids are also going to school and all those things. First timings are there. So we have to adhere to that, right? So it's okay. Like, for Grihasthas, the things are relaxed a bit. So that is another reason why, like, it's not very difficult for us to practice. It's just we determine and make a will, that, okay, we have to do.
And since we are going to office, I'll be doing it earlier itself. Both tiffin and lunch will be offered at the same time. And night also, I'll come late and I can't do anything, but I will take only the same thing we have done. And one more question, Prabhuji. My son, sometimes what happens, he comes in to the kitchen and he takes it and eats it. When I tell him, no, wait, he shouts at me, I don't like you putting this tulasi in this boga and offering to God, and he'll be shouting like that. That's why I do it earlier. But sometimes it happens. At that time, I don't know what to do, Prabhuji.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's a difficult situation. But then, like, being a son, he should not be doing that. Like, you should be in more control, telling him that what to do and what not to do. I mean, that is the problem with all the kids these days, actually. The way they speak, the way their behavior is towards, that line of demarcation between a senior and a junior, that is actually gone now. Okay, that is the biggest problem. And this all has been coming here because of our blindly following the Western culture and all this, Netflix and the other OTT platforms. Okay, they show so much of nonsense over there that the whole consciousness is getting contaminated, actually, right? So all you can do is to pray. Just you be very determined, and with full determination and focus, you practice Krishna consciousness, because kids actually learn what they see. More than saying them or telling them. They may not listen to you, okay? But if they see you continuously practicing day in and day out, then that will have a bigger impact. And also, it depends a lot on the sweetness of that individual soul, Mataji, okay? I mean, maybe he is your son, or the relatives are all around, but at the end of the day, we all are spirit souls, and we all have our own baggage of karma. Okay, so just pray to Krishna that, okay, Krishna, if you so desire, please, help him progress in Krishna consciousness, make him a devotee. Okay, or if not a devotee, then at least, a good human being. in the first place, right? So Krishna will definitely help, Mataji. If you are sincere, just see, if Prabhupada was able to open 108 temples in 12 years, then you are just asking for your son, Mataji. Krishna will definitely help.
Actually, he knows. He comes and tell me all Krishna stories. He'll be telling, how did he take it in his how did he lift their Govardhan? And he used to tell everything. Before he was not like that, but after we had few some distress in our family, so from that time on, from 2020, he said that I don't believe God. From that time only he has changed. Before he used to tell Hanuman Chalisa, he used to come with me for everything. He never used to say all these things. But now he is, for past 4 years, he is like that.
So the problem is in this particular scenario, see, that is the problem with most of the people around the world, right? Because the thing is that when we go to God, okay, when we go to pray something, then we obviously expect something in return. That, okay, I'm offering you 1 laddu, you give me this, and this, right? I will offer you 3 agarbattis, you give me this. So essentially, you see how our consciousness is, that we are actually ordering God, okay, that you have to fulfill my these desires, basically. And if he doesn't do that, like apparently if Krishna doesn't do that, then we say that, okay, there is no God. That means it's our ego, basically, that how come this person did not fulfill my desire, did not do what I asked for, right? But it's always the other way around, right? We should not be asking, rather we should be serving Krishna. So if this kind of thought process, if you are able to somehow inculcate in his mind, then I think that consciousness will slowly shift. Because since you said that he's already reading the books, then I think he's on the right track. Just some fine tuning is required. So yeah.
Okay, actually, not about the desires. We had some loss in our family. So from that time, he has got his father and his my brother. So like that, from that time, he has got into this one loss of a person.
Just give him some time, Mataji. I think as he will grow up, he will mature, and then he will understand, because he's on the right path, he's in the right company. So I am fully confident that he will bounce back. Yeah.
Thank you. Your blessings, please. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
So
thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful class, Prabhuji. I do believe that prasadam, all knowledge we have, but this class was so crystal clear and it hit the right chord, at least within me, and how important is prasadam. All theory-wise, we knew everything, but it has really touched some chord within that, how important prasadam is. Prabhuji, thank you so much for bringing it that way.
Prabhuji, one class we need on karma.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Definitely, Mataji.
Yes.
Definitely, Mataji.
Yeah. Vedavini Mataji,
Ashish
personal
Prabhuji.
request.
Yeah.
Ashish Prabhuji, talk to him.
Mataji, next Saturday, Prabhu, please.
Yes, Prabhuji, next Saturday.
Okay, next Saturday I can.
Vedavini Mataji, if you can.
Very
Mataji, please.
Very important topic, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So we will request Ashish Prabhu. Let's see what Prabhu says.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
And I think that class will need some extra time, because we'll have loads of
Lot
questions on that.
Yeah.
Everybody will have so many questions.
Lot of questions will come up for that.
But ICF now, the next session is at 11:30. So that's okay, because the small book session is moved. So we have time. There's no rush to complete at 11. So
yes, Mataji. Hari bol.
All right, so thank you all very much, and we'd like to thank Abhinav Gauranga Prabhu. Very, very wonderful session. Devotees have already given you the next topic and the next timing. So let's see how much it works out, and then we'll take it forward. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Very enlightening, and I hope we are able to follow what you have mentioned in the class. So we seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas and you, so that we can apply all of these important teachings in our lives and progress in Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Don't forget the link.
Yes. Absolutely.
Thank you,
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Vedavini Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.